Okay, this is an introduction to making business cards using LaTeX, and this is our final document. You see, we've got Dr. Jeremy DeWitte. He's got a B.S.A. from the University of My Imagination. He's an impersonator extraordinaire, jack of all trades, master of none. And then we got his email at the bottom and phone number. It says ask for the doctor. Okay, let's go over the code guide. Experiment. The best way to learn is with a keyboard. If you can type, you can code. And then own it. That means apply your own content to the things you learn here. You're not going to learn it as well unless you apply your own content. File extension, always use the .tex file extension. Code modifications, we're going to go through a series of changes. Pay attention to the lines with the green arrow comments. Those are the ones to watch. And to the left of the code blocks, you're going to see line numbers. They're in a kind of a light blue color. Do not type in the line numbers. Your code will not compile if you do that. And the code demos. After the code blocks, you're going to see resized images of the actual PDF documents produced from the code blocks. So you shouldn't have any typos or any coding errors within the code blocks, because everything you see there was used to produce the actual PDFs. Okay, and once again, we're going to go over the code. This is the code for it, and there's the finished product. We're going to start out simple though. So here you see on line 1, we're using an article document class, and we're using the geometry package. You know, we're setting the width and the height to 3.5 inches by 2 inches, which is the size of a business card. And you see everything between line 4 and line 11 is just simple text. That's going to be the text that we're using, but it's not. There is no markup at this point. So I'm going to go down here, and you can see that that's what it produces. And if you look at the bottom, you see a line number. We don't need that line number. We got one page here. It's a business card. Okay, and now we're using on line 2. We've got the use package, no page, no. So that basically means we're not going to have page numbers for this. And you know, we're kind of breaking things up here. So you see the double slash or double backslash on line 8. That gives us a new line. And the same thing on line 13. And you see the quote symbols. Notice on line 14, the quote symbols around the doctor. The left quotes are different from the right quotes. And it's not what you'd expect. The left quotes are actually made with the accent character, you know, 2 single accent characters, and the right quotes are just 2 single quote symbols. That's how that's done in LaTeX. And there you can see it. So everything's kind of changed, but we're basically using paragraphs here. That's why you see the indentation. So we need to do something about that. And what else? What do we got here? Okay, so on line 3, we're setting the margin to 0.15 inches. So we're going to move over to the left, and no head. That means there's not going to be any space along the top. And there you see it. But we're still indented, which we don't need. So here we're going to change the indentation. On line 5, you see use package par skip. So that's paragraph skipping. So we're skipping the indentation for the paragraphs. So we're using that now. And on line 8, you know, we're setting the a boldface text font for Dr. Jeremy DeWitte, and using a typewriter font on line 15 for the email, and a boldface font for the doctor on line 16. So there we can see things are a little better now. We got the bold font going on. We got the quote symbols. Okay, and line 8. What do we got here? Yeah, we're adding another font for Dr. Jeremy DeWitte. I think we're changing that to large, and emphasizing on line 13. So I'm going to emphasize Jack of all trades, master of none. So you see the emphasis, Jack of all trades, master of none. I guess you'd say italics. And you see the underline on Dr. Jeremy DeWitte, and that's a larger font. Okay, and then we're going to add some spacing. On line 12, you see the V-fill. That's going to add a little spacing. Then we're using the other V-fill, the one with two L's, on line 14, followed by an H rule. So that's going to be a line that goes across right under the spacing. So you can see you got the line at the bottom right above the email address, and you see everything is spaced out a little bit better now. Okay, and now we're going to add some logos. So on lines 10 and 11, you can see where we start out with the dagger logo. So we're using the dagger logo twice, and on line 16 we're using a right arrow, from the phone number to ask for the doctor. So we use a right arrow there, and you can see the daggers, one in front of B.S.A, one in front of Impersonator, and you see the right arrow at the bottom line, right after the phone number. Okay, and I believe that's it. That should be the final text there. So if you hit pause, type that in, it should work. And then just modify it with what you have. And that's our final document. So that's an introduction to business cards within LaTeX.